This is Roger Simon.
And Lionel Chetwynd.
Welcome back to Pollywood. We're going to have, of course, a little moment with Rotten Tomatoes at the end. But first, we have a special guest here from the East Coast, Fred Barnes. No, this is not Fox News, and it's not the Weekly Standard where Fred is editor. Welcome here to Hollywood, Fred.
Roger, thank you. Lionel, glad to be with you.
Glad to have you here in the beautiful sunlight.
Yes, we're here for a King's game.
You're here in the land of celebrities.
Speaking of celebrities, we're going to start out by looking at a video ad for Obama that just came up the other day. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Anna Wintour, and I'm so lucky in my work that I'm able to meet some of the most incredible women in the world. Women like Sarah Jessica Parker and Michelle Obama. These two wonderful women and I are hosting a dinner along with the president in New York City to benefit the Obama campaign on June the 14th. It'll be a fantastic evening, and you can join us. We're saving the two best seats in the house for you, but you have to enter to win. You can enter right now by going to barackobama.com/New York Night. Sarah Jessica and I both have our own reasons for supporting President Obama, and we want to hear yours. So please join us, but just don't be late.
You know what? Before we even talk about the content, the tech is disgraceful. The editing is off the line.
Bad camera angle.
They got a click track on it. Click, click, click. Like someone's going to dance to it later.
Let's ask our guest. Fred, do you think this kind of thing has political value today?
Only to the extent that it may raise some money, and it's obviously not going to raise much money. I mean, who's going to come to that? Anybody who would want to do that is probably maxed out on Obama in the first place. It's somebody, I can't think of a woman in America who you would want to advertise as being on your side less than Anna Wintour. I mean, that's crazy. And so that's bad. Her as a celebrity, celebrities don't help much anyway, but particularly one like this. And secondly, you won't raise much money.
She's the editor of Vogue magazine, as we know, and as we were discussing earlier, it is Vogue that recently ran that profile of Asma al-Assad before her husband started killing everybody in Syria. These are the people that Obama wants to associate with?
Well, you know, hold on. To me, she's not. I didn't know who she was. I mean, I'm down on my East Coast celebrity.
Yeah. I mean, nor will most Americans know who she is. Even if they get Vogue magazine, they're not going to know her. I mean, do you know the editors of these magazines? No. It shows you what is fundamentally wrong. One of the things fundamentally wrong with the Obama campaign. Obama is relying on celebrities to have events for him to raise money here and there. And the truth is, it doesn't help. And I think in 2012, when we have an economic problem in the country, we have a debt crisis that's about to lower the boom on us, and he's hanging around and having celebrities have dinners for him and inviting people to a New York night, I think that's the wrong way to go.
Let me ask you something. Because here in Hollywood, in the insular world of Hollywood, inside the 405, the sense was that George Clooney made an enormous contribution, not financially, but he just lifted up the Obama campaign. He's made a difference. People across America, really, I'm not kidding. There's a sense of that. And there are Republicans who feel we need to do the same thing.
Well, I think that's ridiculous. I mean, George Clooney made a tremendous difference for himself. George Clooney lifted himself up. No, look, I think he's a fine actor. I've seen some of his movies, but is he in 2012, is he going to help you win a presidential race? And maybe he raised some money, but you could raise the same amount of money from those people by a phone call, probably. And Obama coming out here to California, this is the wrong thing to do in the 2012 election. I mean, Obama has to recognize what the public is so worried about. They're not worried about that whether Obama can function socially at some high level with women's magazines editors and Hollywood stars and so on.
Or low level or whatever it is.
Look, they're better off. I mean, there are limits to how effective their ads attacking Mitt Romney are, but those are a lot smarter than this.
You know, among our community of Hollywood people on the right, there's been a movement afoot. We could even name names on this, but we don't necessarily have to sort of counter this Democratic move by organizing Hollywood conservatives and making them go public and have parties and bring Romney and et cetera, et cetera. Do you think there's any value to that?
Not really. It would be a value to the people putting on the events. I mean, they'd love to have Romney come out and appear at some big lunch. Well, and they might raise a little money, but that's just not the best way for Romney to spend his time to help. Look, there are a group of people who think that celebrities are very important in political campaigns. And those are the celebrities. It's not the campaigns.
Well, that's really good to hear, in a way, because, you know, we don't like... living in this community,
It's one thing to have people, you know, sort of sidekicks come along with you during the campaign, and you can introduce them, and they don't really have to say anything at rallies and so on. But that's nice. You know, Bruce Willis did that for George W. Bush.
And John Voight did it for McCain. He was on the bus. He was there. He
that's fine, you know. And you know who's impressed by that? The reporters who were there. Right. You know, hey, I met Bruce Willis, but it doesn't help you much, but it's nice. But rely on them as your fundraising people and to elevate them. I mean, this is a big part of the campaign, and I know all these Hollywood stars and so on, and I don't think it helps, particularly this year.
Yes, it's getting worse. There's no question with the jobs report, all that stuff, the deficit the size of Brooklyn.
No, the whole point about for a Republican running for president is you ignore California except for whatever funds you can raise, and there are people that can raise some money here, but a candidate doesn't have to come out here.
How much do you ignore now? I mean, do you think that a lot of the country is going to be in play?
Of course, yeah. I mean, look, Wisconsin,
except for California,
Obama, except for California and a few other states. If you remember Wisconsin, I think Obama won there by double digits. He had a real. 14, he was going along, 14, and then 14 points. Right. He exploded at the end. And this is Wisconsin. Wisconsin has been, you know, it is the core progressive state in the country. And now they've elected a Republican governor, and a number of House members won in 2010. They won both houses of the legislature. And now Walker has taken a strong position about the excessive power that's held by public service unions. And it is a popular issue and around the country, but it particularly seems to be popular and working in Wisconsin of all states. So if Wisconsin's in play, Ohio certainly is. Virginia, a state that Obama won by 7 points, it's certainly in play. So is, I mean, Illinois is not, maybe Minnesota's not, but Michigan is, and so it's very meaningful.
Clearly, it's true to say that the popular culture and the stars of the moment, when they change from... they have a large part of the American popular imagination in ransom. What usefully can they do, besides, you say, ride on the bus? Can they, Carl Dole believed the best thing they do is send money and keep out of it.
Yeah, I think Carl's right. There really isn't much they can do unless they want to be, as I say, sidekicks. Just, you know, a little appearance here and there, not saying anything, but just being there because people would recognize them, and that might look nice, but to rely on them, and of course Obama has every now and then these lists of people who actually have dropped by the White House are gotten by the press through the Freedom of Information Act, and of course there are all these Hollywood stars. The truth is, Obama likes to hang around with them. I don't think the knowledge of that, to the extent the public has that, is going to help him in 2012.
But what about another question? And this is probably a long issue that we should deal with another time, but here it is. The late Andrew Breitbart said famously that politics was downstream of culture. You know, in my view, he had a point. On the other hand, he may not have a complete point. It goes both ways. However, people on our side of the fence have not held on at all to the cultural argument. Now, what's your view on that?
Well, I think it's partially true sometimes, and I think this may be true more on the gay rights movement, where Hollywood is just jumping onto a bandwagon. I mean, the argument in favor of gay marriage and gay rights seem to be winning. But there is a difference of whether you're really winning among elites and doing well in polls, or actually winning the American public. And a good example of this is what happened in North Carolina, where polls showed that gay rights were a little bit popular, and then you go into the polling booth, and a gay marriage amendment loses by 22 points. So the truth is, I don't think Hollywood has persuaded anybody beyond just the way the whole issue was going anyway.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, Fred, for joining us here.
Good.
And now let's see what's coming to theaters with Matt Atchity at Rotten Tomatoes.
Hi, this is Matt Atchity, editor-in-chief of RottenTomatoes.com, here to let you know what's in theaters this weekend. First of all, the one movie that everybody's been waiting for, Prometheus, directed by Ridley Scott. It's a sci-fi film, and yes, it is kind of based on the Alien universe. It's sort of a prequel to Alien. It's at 77% on the tomato meter. Most critics say that it's pretty good, it's pretty scary, very effective, but a lot of them agree that it would probably be better if it didn't have all of the baggage of the Alien franchise in it. But that being said, if you were hopeful for this movie, I think you're going to be pretty satisfied. I liked it myself. The other big movie opening this weekend is Madagascar 3, Europe's Most Wanted. Now, I don't know that anyone was really clamoring for another Madagascar movie, but this movie has turned out to be pretty good. It's about 78% on the tomato meter. All of the primary voice cast returns: Ben Stiller, Chris Rock, Jada Pinkett Smith, David Schwimmer. It's a fun movie. The animals now are in Europe. They join the circus. They learn circus tricks. And it's pretty enjoyable. I found myself laughing a lot. And if you've got to take the kids to something this weekend, this is a great choice. That's all the big movies in theaters this weekend. If you want to know about anything else that's playing or see what may be out on DVD this week, make sure to check RottenTomatoes.com.
Thanks, Matt, and thanks especially to Fred Barnes for joining us this week. Next week in Hollywood, this is Roger Simon.
Lionel Chetwynd.
See you then.